2-0 up. 5 is the place in the round of 32, and a meeting with Joe O'Connor, also of Leicester, of course, like Heathcote, who got the better of Stephen Maguire 5-3.
There's been some debate in recent times about tour structure and all that, and without getting deeply into it, actually Louis Heathcote would be one of the players that I would be curious to know what his thoughts on it would be. You know, he's had a few years on the tour, he's had a lot of good results, but then he finds himself off the tour. He gets straight back on, but he's had a tough season. Should there be a tiered draw system, or should it be a flat draw system, or a mix, or whatever? You know, guys like Leo, excuse me again, guys like Louis would be certainly up there in terms of asking, just get their opinion on it. Anyway, that's for another day, but it's an interesting topic. You know, as far as he's came on the tour, does he think it's too difficult for a new professional or whatever? You know, it's an interesting one.
Very, very close. Feeling that he's got to make something happen at the moment, because he's not being given any opportunities by his opponent, who's suffocating him out there. Incredibly tough red. He did get mighty close to it, but so close that he's attendance to the pocket, which is bad news. Mark Allen back in.
Six.
This time Allen was the wrong side of the blue, but he's been able to safely negotiate the bought colours to get himself back at the sharp end of the table. Just seems to be queuing so smoothly, looking very confident. Mentioned that he was pushed all the way by Fetmalaikal in the previous round and deliver the goods when they were most needed in the decider with a century break. He's never been afraid of the winning line, has he, Mark Allen? Even when he used to play a more attacking brand of snooker than he does these days, he's always been rock solid under pressure.
Working.
Again, nicely controlled by Alan. He wasn't ideally on the blue,
18.
but it's worked out okay, I think.
Yeah, it was a beautifully judged little cannon, wasn't it? Now, this is the key shot. Black waiting. Guaranteed, you would think, to be nice on it. He pots this. Chance to make. Yeah, you made the pot. Oh, wow, I thought that was in.
Mark Allen, 18.
Looked in, didn't it? It did look in.
Yeah. Just shaved the near jaw. Okay, now then. The first
One.
proper scoring chance.
The first real error that Alan has made. It wasn't a gimme. Clearly he was hampered with his cueing. Couldn't have got any closer to the pot. Louis Heathcote has had to be very patient to get a chance like this.
Nine. Seventeen. Four.
Yeah, the red in the corner's no problem. He's just worried about the cannon. I almost want to... Yeah, the natural playing it sort of just with top spin. He's going to hit the left hand of the two reds. Going to hit it pretty much full ball. He wants to glance it. It's not certain this that he can just slip through for the black without losing the cue ball. Yeah, it was a bit awkward.
Ken Doherty and Julian Leclerc watching on, with Leclerc having taken the opening frame against the former world champion. Two-0 now to Joe Perry, the former Welsh Open champion over Jing Zihao. Alfie Davis did win that third frame against Marco Fu to lead 2-1, having lost the first. Jordan Brown 1-0 up on Dave Gilbert. This is tough. Had to put everything into the pot, and in the process his sacrifice position.
32.
You have to say he's actually very unlucky to double kiss the red and have the cue ball find its way back there. Great pot.
Heathcote, 32.
Heathcote's had a bit of luck there by leaving the cue ball so close to the brown, making life awkward for Allen. 14 Heathcote's lead.
That is a tremendous shot. He's actually put Louis in a bit of trouble. That was a corker of an escape. No trouble as far as leaving on a pot, but giving up superiority perhaps in this exchange.
Definitely didn't go to plan, that one, but the result is okay for Heathcote, hence the hand up in apology, because he could easily have left Allen something straightforward. Jordan Brown, meanwhile, has doubled his lead over former world semi-finalist Dave Gilbert, so 2-0 now to Jordan. And 3-0 to Joe Perry over Jingzi Hao. Breaks of 75, 103 and 65 from Gentleman Joe. Great start for him, just 15 points from his opponent in those first 3 frames. Has Allen covered the red with the blue? He hasn't.
One.
Okay, so at last something to go at and get his arm through the cue ball properly. Above all here, do not catch a bolt colour. Nicely done. Just needs, as
6.
always, one cast iron positional shot now. With the pot, obviously.
Seven. 15.
Yeah, I know he hasn't been able to show it tonight, but he's also a player, Louis, that I would call a natural scorer. A bit like Mark Allen, actually. He got that. Oh, yeah. Apologies.
22.
It's gone quite badly wrong. He can still get to the red just about, but very awkward. But when he gets going, he can, he can put away 2, 3, 4 frames in a row, no problem.
Very well done.
23.
You could see his frustration in landing awkwardly as he did, but he didn't allow that to interrupt his concentration. So back in good position with the chance to get involved in this match. Saw off Andy Lee 5-1 in his qualifying match. Made 3
30.
healthy breaks in that match. Hasn't had an opportunity really until this frame
31.
to make anything significant, but this is a clear chance to clinch the frame. And just this red should do the trick.
37. 38.
Mark Allen could have been in business again in this one. He missed a tricky red to the left centre that in when he was hampered with his queuing.
44.
But Heathcote has done well to get this frame on the board.
45. 52.
This is the red, just shaved the jaw, and that was enough at that pace to keep it out.
53.
'But this should make Heathcote feel a whole
59.
lot better. He is a very fluent player. He was basically marginalised in the first 2 frames. But he's taken this chance well, including that excellent
61.
recovery shot when he was hampered. Likes to get on with it. He's an attacking player. Great long potter.
64. 68. 73.
'Didn't cue the pink as nicely as he'd like to, but it doesn't matter. The break of 73, more than enough for Louis Heathcote to get himself involved in this match and halve the deficit in the process. Mark Allen pegged back here in Berlin. Allen now leading by 2 frames to 1.
Thank you, frame 4. Louis Heathcote to break.
A break of 73 from Leicester's Louis Heathcote. Back in the match. Mark Allen played 2 exemplary frames. Did have a chance early in the 3rd. Missed an awkward red, and Heathcote stepped in after knocking in a red from long range with that excellent break. So 2-1. This the final frame before the interval. Saw just now on Discovery Plus, Joe Perry going nicely, very nicely against Ying Zihao, 3-0 up and in the table, in the balls, in the fourth frame. And of course, if he wins, Joe, he's going to play a certain Neil Robertson. That'll be an interesting dynamic, given that Perry has acted as mentor to Robertson in recent times.
Yeah. He looks in great nick, doesn't he? It's good to see Joe Perry. It's been a lean time for him as well as Neil. But yeah, that'll be certainly one to look forward to if Joe can complete victory at some point tonight.
Oh dear. Not a gimme with the rest, but an opportunity nonetheless for Heathcote. And once again, having missed, he's left Allen with a fairly easy starter. Yeah, Neil Robertson's been in great form so far here in Berlin. 2 very comfortable wins, 5-1 over Sanderson Lamb, 5-0 earlier over Jimmy Robertson, and he has been scoring heavily.
One.
Robertson, remember, came into this tournament provisionally in 31st place in the end of season rankings, so with a lot of work to do to avoid having to qualify for the Crucible this year. That could all change, of course, were he to go on and lift the trophy
6.
this weekend. He's certainly looking something like his old self again. It is just a couple of matches, but the signs are encouraging. Meanwhile, Mark Allen back in after the error with the rest from Heathcote.
Seven. Fourteen.
Just checking some of the rankings, the end of season rankings. Actually, Mark Allen's in place to get that #1 spot, isn't he, at the moment?
22.
Best part of 100,000 points above the current world champion, Brissell. But he's also in a bit of a scrap at the moment with the upcoming Players' Championship
24.
and then the Tour Championship. He's 13th at the moment to get in the 16-man Players, 12,000 points above that bubble. And of course, it's a 12-man Tour Championship. So he could make inroads to both of those this week.
28.
Some people aren't fans of the shootout being a ranking event, but I'm sure Mark Allen is now, because if it hadn't been for that win, he wouldn't have been in the World Grand Prix, the top 32 on the one-year list. And that has
29.
provided him with the launch pad to try and get into the other 2 players' events. Louis Heathcote counting the cost of missing with the rest at the start of this frame when he had a chance to get in himself.
Yeah, I say good on him about the shootout thing. You know, I really do. Half queue, well travelled. You've just got to do it. That's what being a snooker player is. You've got, you know, set up camp at whatever tournament will have you, regardless of success. All right, the very odd occasion you can take a week off, but he played in the shootout, walked away with the winner's prize, and as you say, it opens a few doors.
34.
Even for one of the top players in the world.
Yes, and the idea that the shootout is
35.
purely a lottery is, I think, misguided. You have to have some nous about you, and that is something that Mark Allen has in spades. He's a very clear thinker under pressure. He can handle a rowdy crowd. And you've got to be able to keep your wits about you, haven't you, in that unique environment. Obviously, you've got the time constraints as well. But Allen was able to handle all of that, come through with the prize at the end of it, and it has proved to be very valuable in more ways than one for him.
Yeah, just one other thing on that shootout. Our colleague Dave Hendon made a point in his recent podcast, didn't he, about the rules of the shootout are in the official rules of snooker. So people say it's not a proper tournament. Officially, well, it is. It's in the rule book. The shot clock and all that stuff. So there you go. I'm just passing. Don't shoot the messenger. That's in the books. Yeah, should be nicer on this red. So yeah, it's always the miss that shot, missing it thick. So I don't know if I'd say the door's ajar, but a half chance for Leo. My apologies, Louis.
Well, we've mentioned already, we've seen it. He was very good from long range, but this is a tester. Well, it would appear he has covered the red because he's held his hand up there. Could easily have left it for Allen. Well, this one's available for sure. Yeah, so the apology was a little premature. Allen back in. And this is a great chance to clinch a 3-1 lead at the interval. And you'd have to say on the balance of play that would feel about right. Two impeccable frames to start the evening.
6.
Heathcote hitting back impressively, having been starved of table time to win the third with that break of 73, but Allen has been in charge of this one so far.
7.
And there's confirmation, 95% pot success. That's outstanding. He's missed very little in live play. Didn't play that well though, and you can see from his reaction that will annoy him
14.
because he was on the cusp of clinching the frame there. The red does go, but it's clearly much more awkward than it should have been. This is a very thin cut with the rest. So, an unexpected reprieve for Louis Heathcote.
Okay,
55
14.
behind, and not a very appetizing next shot to play, but at least he's still in the frame, which looked unlikely. Three 3-0 now to Jordan Brown over Dave Gilbert, a break of 81 to go with a 52 in the second frame. So Jordan playing exceptionally well at the moment against the former Championship League
Foul.
winner.
Enemy.
Ken Doherty has recovered from losing the first frame to lead Julian Leclerc, former shootout runner-up, 2 frames to 1. And Alfie Davis, who lost the first frame to the in-form Marco Fu, has hit back very impressively. The Welsh amateur now 3-1 up, helped by a break of 62 in frame 2. He's reduced Marco Fu to just 20 points in the last 2 frames of that one, so 3-1 lead at the interval.
Mark, thank you. Foul. Enemies, Mark Allen 4.
Yeah, now will there be a warning? It looks like he can see a red full ball. And if he can't, he's going to have to change his shot. And it's a nasty one. That red that he can see full ball.
So I have to give you a warning if I miss the time, we will lose everything.
Yeah, there's confirmation because he can see a red full ball. Has to hit one this time, otherwise he's lost the frame in any case. 63 behind. Still 83 on the table, however, so all is not lost for Heathcote in this frame.
One.
It might be now, though, assuming Allen can get through to the yellow. One good positional shot, and it should be 3-1. A red in any colour from here. This isn't a gimme, though. Good cueing required.
Four.
No bad thing, really, for Allen that the black is now tied up, because the best Heathcote could do from here is tie the frame in any case. And of course would need blacks to do that.
Mark Allen 4.
Now we're getting word that Marco Fu has sadly had to concede his match against Alfie Davis. You'll recall that Fu took the opening frame. Davis then won the next 3, but apparently Marco has pulled out of the match because he's suffering from double vision, which is very sad to report. Of course, Marco has had problems with his eyes in the past. Had to undergo surgery a few years ago and has had to withdraw from his match at 3-1 behind. So we wish him well, obviously, but nevertheless, that's A very good result for Alfie Davis. Not the way he would have wanted to win, clearly, but he played some good stuff to win 3 of the 4 frames, and he is through to the next round.
Yeah, that is a real shame for Markle. Obviously won't be listening to this, but I feel for you, pal. I hope it gets all sorted out with your eyesight and everything else sooner than later, because he played brilliantly against Mark Selby. Let's hope he's back in the big time.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, any sort of full ball contact here would be fine. That's a good shot. He knows that Louis has a devil's own job to get some red blacks from this position. Try and sneak in behind the brown.
Alfie Davis will now play Si Jai Wee. That for a place in the round of 16.
Yeah, thin red is of no value. In fact, there isn't any pot that's of any value to him.
One.
Well, this has surely got to go. Cued it well. So 62 the deficit with 59 remaining, 1 snooker.
5.
By no means an irretrievable situation for Heathcote.
Six. Thirteen.
Just caught the jaw of the pocket, and the game is up as a result. So it's Mark Allen as we head to the mid-session interval, who has the advantage. He's played very well so far in all departments and thoroughly deserves his 2-frame cushion. Louis Heathcote made a nice break of 73 in the